So far, the website that we've made is really boring. If we test our movie, hit Control Enter, we can click on the buttons. They'll take us to different pages in the website. But like I mentioned, it's really boring. It doesn't really do anything for us. If you're going to make a website like this, why not just do it in HTML? What's the point of using Flash? One of the great things about Flash is that you can use it to make more interactive things. You can make animations and things like that. So let's talk about how we can make a similar website, but with animated transitions. And what we're going to do is we're going to have each of our pages fade in as we click on them. Instead of just suddenly jumping to the next page, we're going to have the next page fade in. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to add a little bit more to our timeline. For our home page, for example, we don't want the home page just to appear as soon as the site loads. We want it to fade in. So in order to get it to fade in, what we're going to do is we're going to convert all of our home page content into a movie clip. So at this point, you would take all of your paragraphs, your title, everything that's part of your homepage content. Let's unlock that content layer, lock the buttons layer. We're going to highlight all of our homepage content and then hit F8 to convert it to a movie clip. Okay, so let's click on movie clip symbol here. Let's give this a name. Let's call this page home. And the reason I put page first instead of home first is, again, so that we could have it in we can have these pages grouped together in our library since it's in alphabetical order. So all the pages will be right next to each other. So we have page home. It's a movie clip symbol. We'll click on OK. And we're going to do the same thing for every different page of our website. So we'll go to the About section. We'll highlight all of our About content. Hit F8 to convert that to a symbol. We'll call this page About. Click on OK. We'll go to the Contact section, highlight everything there, F8 to convert that to a movie clip symbol. We'll call this page Contact. And then one more time on the Products page, highlight everything, F8 to convert to a symbol. We'll call this page Products. Okay. Now that we've converted each of these to a movie clip, we can actually animate them onto the stage. And we're going to do that using the alpha property. The alpha property, if you're not aware, is the opacity or the transparency of a movie clip. So let's go back to frame 1 here, and we're going to basically take all of our frames and shove them over. So I'm going to highlight by clicking in the top left frame, dragging all the way down to the bottom layer, all the way to the right. Once everything is selected, we're going to click and drag again. We'll just drag everything out to frame 10. So now we have in frame 1, we have a series of blank keyframes here. And in frame 10, we have our home page. So as it is, our home page is on frame 10 and our stop action is on frame 10 along with all the code for our buttons. Now what we want to do is we want to make use of this section of the timeline right here and make our home page animate onto the stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first keyframe here, click on it to select it, and then I'm going to drag it back to frame 1. So now the first frame of our home page is on frame 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it invisible right here and fade it in so that it's fully transparent once it gets to frame 10. So I'll click on frame 10 now and hit F6 to add a new keyframe there. And now that we have it fully faded in frame 10, let's jump back to frame 1, click on our home movie clip, go down to our properties panel, change color from none to alpha, and then for our slider here, drag that all the way down to 0% so it's fully invisible, it's fully transparent. Now what we want to do is convert this to a tween, so we can right click anywhere in between those two keyframes and click on Create Motion Tween. And now as we click on our playhead and drag it across, we can see the home page fading in. And we still have that stop action in frame 10, so once it gets to frame 10, it's going to stay there. Now our buttons, we don't want them to just suddenly show up in frame 10. We want the buttons always to be available. So let's click on frame 10 for our buttons layer to select that keyframe. And then once we have it selected, we'll click on it again and drag it back to the left. So our buttons will always be there, and our menu bar needs to do the same. So we'll click on frame 10 for our menu bar, click on it again and drag it to the left.